Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching update. Since my last video, I have worked on 4 cross-stitch projects. I also have a little bit of knitting that I will show, and I have some purchases and things that I would like to purchase. So I will start off with the projects that I worked on. The first 2 projects that I'm going to show are the projects that I've met my January goals on, and so these are projects that are going to be going away until next month, and then I will pull them back out. The first one is the chart Kita, which is artwork by Hannah Alexander and charted by Pinky the Pink, whose artwork you can find on the website makeitpink.net, which I will link all the websites down below in case you're trying to find something or anything like that. So everything will be linked in the description. And for Kita, my goal is to finish all of the cross stitching on her by October or in October, and then that way I can finish the back stitching and beads and have her finished this year, fingers crossed. And so that means that every month I need to be doing 1,800 stitches on her, and I managed to get that done for January so far. And so I was working on this other side of her dress because last year I finished going down this side. So I was focusing on this side, which is getting close to the bottom now. So I'm really excited to next month hopefully finish this side of her dress. And she is very big. I will show the whole thing because I always love to show her off. She is amazing. She's upside down. There we go. Here she is. So there's her face. This is part back stitching, her face. And I did some beading on her last year because I really wanted to see how the beads were gonna look, and they're just, I love beading. It adds a lot of sparkle and it's fun to do. I don't mind beading. I hate back stitching, but I do like beading. And then all of this bottom part is what's left of her, which I kind of regret doing her face first because I love seeing the faces first. But at the same point, the rest of this dress is just going to be a lot of kind of boring stitching because it's just blocks of color that blend into the next color. So that is Kita, and she is being stitched on some fabric that I dyed myself. It's 28 count 2/2 full cross. And I will put her back in the bag so I don't lose track of things. The next project that I will show is Little Gamer, which is artwork by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge, which Gecko Rouge, they don't sell Medusa Dollmaker charts anymore because Medusa Dollmaker now has charts on Etsy, yes. This chart is not on the Etsy shop yet though. I don't know if it's going to be or not, but I loved this chart and so I'm happy that I have it. And for this chart, I want to do 30,000 stitches on it this year. And so every month I need to do 2,500 stitches on it, which I got done. So here it is. At first I started stitching on it, working on Mario more because that's where I had worked on it when I had started it last year. I was focused on Mario. And then I decided that I would stitch one color, so I picked black, and black had like 2,000 something stitches. So I finished off all the black instead, and then I picked another color because I still need to do like another 200 stitches. So I found a blue color that you can see, this blue here, and I finished off this blue color. Hold on, I don't know if it's focusing. I finished off this blue color there because I had another 200 stitches, and that got me to my 2,500 stitches. And so I think there's stuff about to set them up. I think that that's how I'm going to try and do this chart right now. So next month I will pick another color that has a lot of stitches and then do extreme cross country for a little bit and see how that goes. There's not a lot of colors that have that many stitches though. So the color with the most stitches is the background color, which has 20,000 stitches. The color with the next most amount of stitches was, I think, the black, which was, like I said, it was like 2,300-ish stitches or something like that. And then there is, I think, a dark gray that has another 2,000 stitches, but then a lot of the other colors only have a few hundred stitches because this isn't that big of a chart. So yeah, I don't know how long I'll be able to do the extreme cross country with the colors because eventually they're just going to be spread out a lot. So this is being stitched on a 25 count 2/1 10th stitch, and it will be coming back out next month to get another 2,500 stitches. The next 2 charts are charts that I'm trying to work on every day because one of them I would like to get finished this year, hopefully, and then the other one is one that I want to get 60,000 stitches done on it this year, and so I'm trying to do like 160-ish stitches on each of these projects every day. So the first one is the Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along, which is, you can't join it anymore. You could only join it during like this small period of time, like December. And they had 10 charts. You could pick which chart you wanted to stitch. If you finish 4 pages, then you get all of the other charts. If you finish the whole thing, you get to pick 2 charts from the Heaven and Earth website. So I am really trying to get this finished so that I can get more charts from Heaven and Earth Designs, but I picked Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3. Here is where I am on Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3. I have mostly been sticking to the amount of stitches that I need to do every day, and it takes kind of a long time to get the stitching in on this. Like, you would think it would be easy because I am doing it 10th stitch, which is quicker. So this is 28 count, 2 over 1/10, but it kind of takes a while because it's a smaller chart. I feel like smaller charts can sometimes be harder because you can't really just pick one color and take it like throughout for a while. You usually have to switch colors a lot because like the area that you're stitching will only have like a small section of that color, and then you have to pick new colors. And so for me, changing colors is often what usually slows me down in stitching, and so it kind of takes a while because there's a lot of confetti and color changes in these sections. So this is where I am though. The first 3 pages are what's been released so far, which those are all full pages. The next release is April 1st, and those will be more partial pages, so they won't be as big of releases, but I am enjoying working on this though. And this chart, I don't know if I mentioned, this is artwork that is from an Amy Stewart chart that is called Merry Mushroom Village Picnic. So if you did want to stitch a mushroom chart, there are larger versions of this chart available, but they're huge. So that's like the biggest thing with Heaven and Earth Designs, is a lot of their charts are gigantic because like Amy Stewart's have a lot of details in them and smaller things, and so you kind of have to have them be big so you can actually see what's going on. So it's kind of nice to have these smaller sections where this is only going to be like, look at how small this fabric is. It's tiny. Like the whole chart is 60,000 stitches, so that's not too bad. Anyways, the last chart that I have to show is Autumn Harmony, which is artwork by Maxine Gadd, and this is the one that I'm trying to do 60,000 stitches on for this year, and here is where I am on it now. And I will say that I think I'm going to be moving the area that I'm stitching to. So right now I'm stitching in the bottom right corner, and I'm enjoying it. I love the way it's turning out. I love the bright colors, but I'm also kind of sick of these colors. And so I think that after this video, I am going to be moving the hoop, and I will be stitching on the top of the chart because it has different colors. And I think I might just kind of like move around the chart just to give myself variety so I don't get like tired of stitching on it. And this is being stitched on an 18 count 2 over 1 full cross, which is one of my few charts right now that are full cross. Most of my charts are tent, and here is the whole thing. So I'm stitching at the bottom, and like I said, I think I might move up to the top and stitch more in this area. It has lighter colors, which I kind of hate stitching lighter colors, but I also kind of would like to change the area that I'm stitching to get something different, because a lot of what I stitched on last year, I was stitching this part of her, and so it's just a lot of the same colors. I would like to kind of get out of stitching like 815 because that's what most of the chart is. It's like 815 and like 920, 921, so it's a lot of like reds and oranges, and I would like to get to something else. So that's all that I have for cross stitch. I did not do any cross stitching in the car for the pickup line because I was knitting, so I will show knitting real quick before I go on to like purchases and stuff like that. So I have been knitting on the Nordiska sweater. I think it's by Caitlin Hunter. I will insert if I'm wrong, and I'll insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And it is a V-neck sweater, so you start knitting it flat and then you connect it once you have the V shaping done, and then you're knitting it in the round. It has cables where you're doing the increases, so it has a little cable detail on the sides. And at the bottom and sleeves it has color work, which my color work I plan on doing in this color here. As you can tell, I kind of like oranges, like there's a whole cone of orange here. I like orange, so I dropped it. So here is where I dropped it again, but I'm just gonna leave it now. So here's where like the V is in the front. It rolls right now because I still need to add the ribbing, but you can add the ribbing later, so I haven't done the ribbing yet. it's rolling, and then you can see I have my little cables, which it was my first time doing cables, so you know, if I messed up anywhere, just it's fine. It's fine. And I'm at the point now where I think I need to do like a couple more rows, and then I will be separating the sleeves from the body. And so you put the sleeves, because I'm going to explain like a little bit more, because a lot of people probably just cross stitch. There's not, like, some people might knit and cross stitch, but some people are just cross stitchers and they don't understand knitting, because like I used to not understand knitting like a couple years ago. So you put the sleeves on waste yarn, or they make these little plastic things that you can stick the sleeves on, but I don't have those yet. And so you put the sleeves on waste yarn, and then you just start knitting in the round for the body. And so I'm almost at that point, which will be exciting to get there, because right now there's a ton of stitches. Like, this is a lot. So I'm excited to get some of these stitches on hold so the rounds will go a little bit quicker. Plus, this one was complicated just because it's my first time doing cables. So you are having to keep track of your increase rows plus your cable rows on where you were. So I was trying to keep track of both of those, and it was a lot. Just because like I'm not used to having to keep track of two different sets of things that you're doing in a pattern at the same time. So that is it. The yarn that I'm using is not available anymore. This was from So Livy Dyes Yarn. She is still on YouTube as, I think her channel name is just, I can't remember if her channel is So Livy or if her channel name is her name, which is Savannah, but I'll link her down below. And she does so much amazing knitting. Like, she is the one where I started watching her videos because she used to do cross stitch, and then she transitioned to knitting. And then I saw her knitting and I was like, I would really like to get into knitting, because seeing the stuff that people can make is amazing. So she does knitting. She's also on Instagram. On Instagram, she is So Livy. And so yeah, this was her yarn. This is the color Black Forest. The orange I plan on using is also her yarn. I can't remember what this one was called though. It might have been like pumpkin pie maybe, but I have things somewhere for it, but either way, so that is my knitting. I've been doing that in the car recently. It has been freezing in the pickup line though, so it's been kind of hard to do anything because we had temperatures where it was like 5 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill it was, you know, negative like 15 or something. So yeah, it's been really cold here, so that was kind of not fun car time, but it's almost over. But now we're warming up and now we have a chance of snow, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, so that's all of my whips that I've worked on. The next thing I will talk about a little bit is purchases. So I will soon, possibly, it depends on when my fabric gets here. I found a stitch along that I'm so excited about because it's something where you don't really see a lot of charts that are for this thing. And someone is doing a board game stitch along. I will insert the picture, and it is from Taylor and Cromwell. They have an Etsy shop and they also have a website, which I got the stitch along from their website. And I'm so excited. So the stitch along, it starts in February, but right now they have the outer like border released. And so it's set up like a Catan board game. So it's like the tiles from like Catan if you play board games. And then they will be releasing new board games for it every 2 weeks. And so I'm just really excited about it because you don't see a lot of board game charts. I have looked before for board game charts because I do like board games, and the board games I've played right now are obviously more like kid ones. So we have Family Edition of Catan, we have Catan Junior, we have Cauldron Quest, Ticket to Ride. I'm looking over there, I have board games. We have Ticket to Ride First Journey, so like the earlier version. We have Pandemic, which I played with my older son. There's a game called Castles of Mad King Ludwig, and that one is so fun. We played that with my oldest, and we haven't really played it because my younger kids still aren't really at the age to play it. But yeah, like board games, but you don't see a lot of things for board games. And so I'm excited about this because she listed some of the games that they're going to be having in it, and it's a lot of ones that I haven't played yet, but that I've wanted to play. So like Betrayal on House on the Hill, which is for like 12 and up, and so my kids right now, my younger ones are 8 and 9, so they're not at an age to play them, so I'm just kind of waiting until they're old enough to play some of these other games that I want. I think they said that Gloomhaven will be in it, which Gloomhaven, I haven't played the board game, but I have it on Steam. So yeah, I'm just really excited about that. The fabric that they recommend for it is from Witch's Garden Crafts on Etsy, and it's a blue fabric that has a lighter center with like a darker outer ring, and I ordered that fabric. So once my fabric gets here, I will be starting the border of that. So I'm excited. It's one of those things where like I don't want to start a lot of things, but at the same point, when someone releases something that doesn't come out very often, I want to like support it and do it, because I want to support people to keep making things that are not the normal things that you see. So I will be starting that. And then I didn't purchase it yet, but I'm debating between two charts on Etsy. I found there's a store called Two Legs Make One X, and they have full coverage charts. And there are two charts that I really like. And so one of them is called Heart of the Forest, which is a girl with a fox. It's got kind of like orangey colors because I like orangey tones. And that one is a round one. So it's available as like a rectangle normal, or you can get it as the round. I really like the round one because it's less stitching of like the top and bottom kind of like background portions, and then it's more just focused on the girl and the fox. And then the other one is called The Star and the Dragon, and I love this one. The colors in it would be hard to stitch because it's a lot of light colors, which are kind of boring to stitch, plus light stitches for me anyways tend to kind of look not as nice as darker colors. But I love the chart. It's a girl and she has a dragon. She's like holding the dragon's face, and I love the chart. I love this artwork. It is beautiful. It's something where I could imagine it hanging up, you know? And so I'm kind of just like stuck between the two, the girl and the fox or the girl and the dragon. And so I'm kind of debating. And once I decide, I will most likely buy that. I probably won't start it right away, but I did look and I do have fabric for it. And so yeah, that's something that I might purchase. And then the last thing that I will talk about is I ordered fabric. It was in December, and I got the message that it shipped today from Kaylee Tent Stitch, who is on YouTube and Instagram. And her shop is called thesewingshop.ca, and she has some amazing fabrics. So I will be showing those once they get here. And one of the pieces of fabric is for a chart from Pinky the Pink, which it's for my Zelda one. I purchased Link and Zelda, like it had to have been probably a year or two ago at this point. And I have the fabric for Link. I did not have fabric yet for Zelda. I found a fabric that I think is going to be perfect for Zelda. And then I also purchased a piece of fabric for a possible long dog start. And so I'm kind of thinking that for, it's a leap year. And so I've seen previously, like the last time we had a leap year, where people did a long dog leap year new start, and they would try and finish that chart by the next time we have a leap year. So that gives you, 4 years to try and get it finished. And so there's a long dog that I have been wanting for a really long time called Dragon Hall. And so I was thinking that I might start that on the last day of February because it's leap year. So that's something where it's like, those are just things that are upcoming. I'm hoping to have some of those things to show soon so that you can see my fabric. It's so pretty. That's all that I have for this video though. And I will be back. I don't know if I'll be back next week or if I'll just wait until the end of January to make my next update video, because that is when I need these goals finished by. So I'm not sure yet, but I'll be back in a week or two with another update. If you're in a place where it's winter, I hope that you are staying warm, because a lot of places right now are really cold. It's cold where I am. I've seen so many people on Instagram posting pictures of their snow and freezing temperatures and things. It's just, I hope everyone's staying warm and staying safe. And if you're somewhere where it's summer, I hope you are enjoying your summer while you possibly see us all freezing right now. And I'll be back hopefully in the next week or two with another update video. Bye!